Good morning to students. Welcome you all. Today we will continue the chapter A Gift of Chappals. So come on the chapter and try to know about the chapter. Mridu crept up to the window. Lally was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring, her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master. He had a mostly bald head with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned. Mridu came close to the window. Lally was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring. Awkwardly means clumsily, in a very bad way. She held violin and the bowstring. Bowstring is used to play the violin. Her elbow jutting out in the sense that to stick outward. Her elbows were outwards. She kept the bowstring in her hand, but her elbows were out. Her elbow was in outward direction, and her eyes glazed with concentration, but her eyes were brightening because of concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master, and in front of her the music master was sitting, but his back portion was towards the window. Music master has the bony figure. Bony figure means he was a skinny, thin. He had a mostly bald head, and music master had mostly bald head means bereft of a hair, his head, with a fringe of oiled black hair. And fringe of oiled black hair means here sense that the part of his hair that is cut so that it hangs over his forehead. His hair was cut and hang over his forehead, and he used oil in his black hair falling around his ears, and he has an old-fashioned tuft in the sense that he made a tuft of his hair. Understand? In chundi, in Hindi we say chundi. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck, and a diamond ring glittered on his head as it glided up and down the stem of the body. And a gold chain gleamed, and he used a gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck, and in his leathery neck there was a gold chain, and the chain was shining around his leathery neck, and a diamond ring, and there was a diamond ring that was glittering. The diamond ring glittered on his hand, brightened on his hand as it glided up and down the stem of the violin. When he was playing the violin up and down to the stem, to the top position of the violin, he was playing the violin to the help of bowstring. On that time, his hand was brightening because of the diamond ring glittered. A large foot struck out from beneath his gold bordered vesties, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. And a large foot struck out from beneath his gold bordered vesties, and he used gold bordered vesti. Vesti means dhoti in Hindi we say. And a large foot stuck out. Stuck means his large foot stuck out from beneath his gold bordered vesti is, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. And he was beating the floor with his big scrawny big toe. Scrawny means Here in a sense skinny, thin. When he was playing the violin, he was beating the ground with his scrawny big toe. He played few notes. Lalli stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly in the rails and whizzing along, as Ravi said. So he played a few notes. He was playing few notes, music notes, and Lalli stumbled behind. Stumbled behind means followed haltingly. She was staying time to time. She was not playing continuously. Lalli stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless. She looked quite helpless when she was playing the violin, and unhappy in her hands. And she was looking unhappy in her hands because she was not playing the violin properly. What a difference, said by Ravi. The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfect into the invisible tracks of the melody. The music master's notes, when he was playing the violin, to float up, to go one place to another place, to float up and settle perfectly. His notes were settled. Music master notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. Invisible tracks of the melody means that the music master's notes can be heard from a great distance through the help of the air, and in the invisible tracks in the sense that you can hear it. When you can hear it, the invisible tracks means you can hear the music master notes through the help of wind, through the help of air, because it is settled, the music master's notes settled perfectly. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along. And Ravi said that it was like the wheels of a train. You have seen the wheels of a train. When train goes continuously, fitting smoothly into the rails, you have seen the wheels of train fitting smoothly into the rails, and when they are in motion, when the train will be in motion, the wheels of a train will produce whizzing sound. Whizzing sound means often making high continuous sound. In a proper way you will get a whizzing sound. When the train will go, they will produce a whizzing sound. Whizzing sound means a settled sound. Settled sound you will get here. When they will go, they will produce whizzing sound, as Ravi said. So here he compared that anyone can hear the music master's notes, because his music notes are perfect and it can be heard in invisible tracks of melody, whereas Lalli is derailing. Just like he compared his music notes when he was playing the violin as a whizzing train. When the train will be in motion, on that time the wheels of the train will produce whizzing sound in a continuous mode. As Ravi said, Mridu stared at that huge beringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin string, making lovely music. And on that time, Ravi said, Mridu stared at that huge. Mridu was watching that huge, big, beringed hand. The music master is wearing a ring. When the music master beringed hand, the hand, that is the music master has worn a ring, moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. A squawk. There was a Lalli drilling. There was a strange sound produced here. There was a Lalli derailing again. And again Lalli was derailed. Lalli was not playing the violin in a proper way. She was derailed again, just like a train derailed from the track. Amma came a wail from the gate, Amma, oh. And afterward, what had happened? Amma came a wail. Wail means painful sound. Here we can say that painful sound came, wail from the gate. Amma, oh, Amma, oh. Rabi sent that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda where he was chatting. She was chatting with Topi. And Rabi sent that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda where she was chatting with Tapi. Where she was chatting with Tapi. Tapi means grandmother. He has been coming here every day for the past week. And she said that he is coming here, he has been coming here every day for the past week, and it is time he found another house to beg from. Pati explained to Tapi. Understand? So here her mother said that she was telling to Tapi, her grandfather, that it is time now he had to find another house. Rabi's mother said to him, and she was also discussing the thing with Tapi, grandmother. Mridu and Meena followed Rabi out. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the arms to appear. Mridu and Meena followed Rabi out. They followed Rabi out. The beggar was already in the garden, and they got that the beggar was already in the garden when they came out. Mridu and Meena, they came out after Rabi, and they got that the beggar was already in the garden and making himself quite at home. And he had made quite at home in a sense that making himself quite at home, that he felt that he was in ease condition, he was in relaxed mode, he was taking rest here. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk. And he was leaning, he had taken support. He was leaning against its trunk, its branches, apparently clearly prepared to take a little snooze. And anyone can know that clearly. He was prepared to take a little snooze, short sleep, while he waited for the arms to appear. And he was waiting for arms. He was waiting that something he would get, because he was begging. Go away, said Rabi sternly. Rabi said seriously, toughly, go away from the house. My Pati says it is time you found another house to beg from. And he said that my Pati has said that it is time that you have to find another house to beg from. So I hope that you have understood all this clearly. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you.